Good morning, my internet brothers and sisters. Sisters, all 2% of you that watch this channel. Thank you so much for being here. But go figure, I dove back into some Thailand headlines last night and we've got some doozies this week. It's been a while, so let's get caught up. Let's see what's happening in the wild world of trending Thailand headlines. As always, there's some lessons to be learned today, a whole bunch of what not to do's, and some situations. If you're planning on coming to Thailand, best to just kind of remove yourself from these. So let's get into our first story. Now this first story starting absolutely off the rails. Thai man attacks mechanic with samurai sword over motorcycle repair dispute. Police in Chonburi arrested a Thai man for attacking a motorcycle repairman with a samurai sword, leaving the victim needing 27 stitches and suffering an ear injury that was nearly severed. Officers from Bang Lamung police station arrested the suspect, 53-year-old Anucha Buntawan, yesterday, March 4th, and seized a 1-meter samurai sword. Police say the attack took place at a rented room at about 10:30 p.m. on Monday, March 2nd. The argument escalated into an assault, police said. Nucha allegedly struck Naparit on the head with a sword, cutting his ear and almost severing it. The victim was transported to the hospital for treatment and later filed a complaint with police. I hope so. I think that's a justifiable complaint.
Oh shit, here we go again.
At the garage, Anusha complained to the owner about the victim's work and the motorcycle problem and allegedly threatened to shut the shop, according to reports. After his arrest, Anusha said he was angry about the failed repair. You think? He claimed he tried to minimize the injuries by using the edge of the sword rather than the sharp side. He also admitting to using substances before the incident. Okay, well, that checks out. That lines it up a little bit more. So, one nice thing about Thailand compared to America, although it does still happen, is gun crime is much more minimal. Granted, you could get in the argument of, differences in populations, but whatever. But one thing that does happen here as kind of the next step down, I guess, is knife crime. It's not common. Public altercations really in Thailand are not that common compared to America, at least. Understandably, that's where I'm from. So those are the comparisons I'm going to draw. So I've been here for, it will be 4 years this summer. I have seen 2 altercations between Thais. Now, when it comes to foreigners, we all know everybody's out there on the sauce. Foreigners stay getting in street fights. But when it comes to locals, I've only seen 2. One was with my mom on Beach Road in Pattaya. Funny, when she comes to visit, that's the one time we see a fight. But that one wasn't too bad. It was 2 homeless guys got into it. But there was another instance. I was in a Ramphil Market. If you live in Pattaya, you might know where that's at. It's like a bar district down towards Champien. As I was pulling in, I saw a dude chasing another dude out of a shop. That one guy was in the place destroying the shop for whatever reason. One guy ran away, the guy that was destroying it, and then all of a sudden, another Thai guy comes chasing him out in the street with a absolute monster of a knife.
Please! Jesus Christ.
Realistically, if you're a foreigner coming to Thailand, this is not something that you really need to worry about, but one thing that kind of goes hand in hand with that is people love knives, right? So I don't advise getting into altercations with locals in any means, but this is also something to consider if, you're making a bad enough decision to go that route. I'm a firm believer that if you're ever in a street fight with somebody and they pull a knife on you, the one thing you should do is run. Even if you have a knife, for me, granted, I never experienced either, but I think I would rather get shot than stabbed. Getting stabbed sounds absolutely miserable to me. Now, hopping into our next story, this is one of those things that we mentioned in the beginning, that situations you should just avoid if you're in Thailand. If you don't know, if you've never been to Thailand before, there are quite a few things here that are very common, but at the same time, they're illegal. In regards to this next story, this situation is not one of those things. 94 Vietnamese arrested in Bangkok raid linked to gambling network. Police arrested 94 Vietnamese nationals during a raid of an office in a luxury condominium in Rama 9, Bangkok yesterday, March 4th, after suspicions that the site may have been linked to a call center scam network. Police said the operation followed complaints about a large number of Vietnamese nationals working at the site, which raised suspicions of a possible call center scam network. If you don't know, that is something Thai authorities are very much focusing focusing on right now. These scam centers have become a very serious problem, not for the most part, not necessarily in Thailand, but a lot of the neighboring countries. So this is one thing that the police are very much cracking down on. Officers had previously conducted surveillance at the site and found that all personnel working inside the office were foreign nationals. The office reportedly had a tightly locked door and was guarded at all times. During the search, police found 94 Vietnamese workers, including 69 men, 25 women. Officers also see 68 computers and laptops. Some active devices were reportedly showing Vietnamese online gambling web pages during the raid. Officers initially assessed that the network may have been operating from Thailand while targeting Vietnamese customers. Police also seized nearly 500 mobile phones from the office, with no details provided on how they were being used at the time of the raid. The arrested Vietnamese nationals told police through an interpreter that they had been invited to work in customer service roles and they had entered Thailand on tourist visas with 6 other Vietnamese friends. They claimed they did not know the work involved an online gambling website and said they only learned this after arriving in Thailand. So while that's an explanation, it's not a very good one. It'd be one thing if, you showed up and then got busted right away and were like, I didn't know. But at this point, I mean, you're working there. You have to know, right?
I'll pump those numbers up. Those are rookie numbers in this racket.
If you don't know, if you've never been to Thailand, if you like to go to the casino, I for sure do. Gambling is highly illegal in Thailand. There's even restrictions on how many decks of cards you can be carrying. Now, I'm not sure if that's something that would actually end up being a problem, but it is on the books. Now, it just doesn't mean that these things can't be found if you are really looking for them. You remember maybe about a month ago, we did another story of some foreign nationals getting busted for running an illegal poker game in Phuket, I believe it was. This is not one of these things that kind of just goes under the radar and it's not that big of a deal. Locals and authorities both do everything they can to make sure this is not happening because of course they don't want Thai locals being targeted by either these scam centers or gambling sites, illegal poker games, whatever. So if you do like to do that, it is unfortunately not something you can do in Thailand. I highly advised against it. But if you are in the area of Southeast Asia, that is, gambling is legal in Cambodia. So if anything, hop over there for a few days, get it out of your system, and then just don't do it when you're here. It's not worth it. You're more than likely gonna lose anyway, and I can't imagine what a terrible night it would be to go to one of these games, get absolutely clapped, lose all your money, and then get arrested on top of it. No, thank you. Now, moving on to our next story. If you've been here long enough, you'll know I kind of go out of my way to mention motorcycle accidents quite frequently. One, because it's just very common in Thailand. A lot more people drive motorcycles than cars, so it happens a lot. But unfortunately, what I see happening a lot of the time is foreigners that get involved in these accidents. An Australian motorcyclist died after his motorcycle crashed into a roadside ravine in Loei province yesterday, March 4th. The ravine was reported to be around 10 to 15 meters deep. So for my American peeps out there, that's about 45 feet-ish in freedom units. You're welcome. Officers from Purua police station were notified of the crash at about 1:20 p.m. Due to difficult terrain, police requested support from the Disaster Prevention and Mitigation Unit of the Ahi Sub-District Administrative Organization. These organizations are always such a mouthful. I feel like I'm getting better at it though. Let me know down in the comments. To bring specialist rescue equipment to recover the victim from the ravine. Upon arrival, officers found the Australian man Martin Dean Bradley lying face up in the bottom of the ravine. He was still found wearing his helmet with the motorcycle found nearby. Channel 7 reported that Bradley had died before officials arrived. His friends told police that they attempted CPR but were unable to save him. For the friends, that has got to be absolutely brutal. I can't imagine what that's like. Now, there's a couple things I kind of wanted to touch on in regards to this. If you are coming to Thailand, you want to ride a motorcycle, I 100% support that. Not only is it more convenient a lot of the time when it comes to traffic, I feel like it's a great way to experience a new place. You're out in the smells, the sounds, everything. I think it's just much more immersive than being in the back of a taxi, But there's a couple things that come with that. I've been riding bikes pretty much my whole life, so I have had some doozies. I know what it's like to be laying in the middle of the road. It is absolutely miserable. I've said it a few times that I don't think Thailand is the best place to learn how to ride a motorcycle for a few different reasons, this situation being one of them. When it comes to road safety or kind of road infrastructure, Thailand is a lot different than a lot of other places, especially when you get out away from the cities. Some of these roads are on the side of the mountain, side of a cliff, no guardrail, and it's a lot easier to make a mistake and go off that on a motorcycle if you're inexperienced than it would be in a car. It's very natural if you've never ridden a bike before or not extensively. When something scary happens, your hands and feet kind of do whatever they want. People will grab a handful of throttle, hit the front brake instead of the back, go off the edge. So that is something to really consider. Another thing, as the article mentioned, is this guy was wearing his helmet. And I know some people personally that for some reason think that wearing all the protective gear somehow just makes you immune to what things can happen. I've always looked at it in the sense that a helmet can prevent a somewhat minimal crash from being much worse. If you're not wearing a helmet and you go down at 15 miles an hour and you hit your head on the concrete the wrong way, that what would have been a small crash is now a very big one. But big crashes are big crashes pretty much no matter what you're wearing. So if this is something you want to do, please, if you have any questions, drop them down in the comments. If there's anything you would like to know about in regards to riding motorcycles, maybe what kind of bike you should be looking for, places you maybe should or should not ride, please drop them down in the comments. I'm not touching on this article as a means to scare anybody. Like I said, I love motorcycles. I want you to experience those as well, but please don't be scared. Safe place. Nobody's gonna make fun of you. At least I'm not. If there's no stupid questions when it comes to motorcycle safety, so please, if you have any, let us know down in the comments. Now, moving on to this next article, I was torn about whether I wanted to talk about this or not because I don't like to feed the trolls, right? Rage bait content today, people that just make videos deliberately being absolutely ridiculous and terrible to the people around them. It gets engagement because people are mad, they leave comments, blah, blah, blah. So I didn't want to talk about this obvious troll, but I think it's important to kind of touch on it for people that might be coming to Thailand. And sometimes it's hard to make the distinction between rage bait and real content. So we're gonna kind of peruse it. We're not gonna dive in. Don't look this girl up. Don't give her any views, but we're gonna touch on it real quick. Foreign woman alleges rude treatment in Thailand sparking controversy. A foreign woman drew criticism online after posting a TikTok video claiming Thai people were rude to her by ignoring her questions due to language barriers. In the caption, she wrote, "So bad I love it here, but be ready for rudeness and people ignoring you." If you've spent any time in Thailand, it's probably very easy for you to spot the nonsense in here. And I did go look at this girl's profile. She is 100% a troll, relies on nothing but rage bait, going out in public places and screaming at the top of her lungs, filming videos. She's obviously one of those people that wants to go out, act like a fool, and then when people confront her, she wants to post those videos out of context saying that it just came out of nowhere. So like we said, don't go look this girl up, but I did think this was important to touch on for people that have never been to Thailand. If you just stumbled across this girl's video, it could be very easy to be like, oh wow, well I wanted to go, but I don't want people to be rude to me. Thai people are not rude, especially when it comes to, the service environment. If you're going into a restaurant or something like that, Thai hospitality is bar none. People are very, very friendly. Even out on the streets, if you say hi to somebody, they're more than likely gonna say hi back to you. The thing about it is, if you walk up to somebody that does not speak English and you just hit them with 4 or 5 sentences of questions and they don't know what you said, what do you expect them to respond with? Even if they tried to help you, they're gonna respond in Thai and you're not gonna know what they said. Google Translate is 100% your friend. Don't be the person that goes to a foreign country and expects everybody to, communicate perfectly in your native language. But anyways, please guys, when it comes to Thailand content, any content for that matter, I think it's really important to understand nowadays that there are people out there that post videos doing nothing but trying to stir up, people's emotions, trying to make people upset, trying to get a rise out of people because that's how they get their views. They can't make good, informative, or fun content, so they would rather just go post crap and get people to get a rise out of it. I'll be the first to tell you, this is absolutely not true. This is becoming more and more common, not just in Thailand, but everywhere. People coming here and saying, whatever they can say that goes against the wider narrative. People coming to Thailand and saying the food is horrible. People like this coming here and saying that the people are, rude. It's not true. As always, I want to hear from you. What do you think about these stories today? Do you think any of them have any validity? you think there are some lessons to be learned here for anybody coming to Thailand, especially first timers. Like we mentioned, guys, if you do want to ride a motorcycle in Thailand, please feel free to drop comments. Hit me up on Instagram. That's linked down below as well. Shoot me a DM. I do my best to get to every single one of them. I would love to help you out. I love to do whatever I can to make you more comfortable so you can come here and enjoy that yourself. But if you did make it this far in the video, thank you so much for hanging out. We are cruising right up to 20,000 subscribers. I cannot thank you guys enough. If you'd like to be updated next time we upload a video, you know what to do. All those fun little buttons are down below, but it is time for me to get out of here. Thank you so much. Oh, and one more thing. If there's any stories you would like to see on the channel, please feel free to drop those down below as well. Or like we mentioned on Instagram DMs, I would be happy to dive into them a bit. I will see you guys later. I hope you have a great rest of your day. See you in the next one.